that wouldn't be an attempt if you didn't try. It would be an attempt if you did try.
It'd be a success.
Damn.
Yeah, but
boy.
I mean, like,
so this entire thing is an
attempt to do
oxymoron.
something. Yeah, you
Kind
attempt to do something without attempting.
Yeah,
Damn, Gavin, you just got.
I'm okay with this though. I'm okay with an
God.
oxymoron for the title.
That's fine.
It's perfect for Gavin. I mean,
God, I'm sitting inside the
It's
channel
perfect
and
for
I'm just
Gavin.
hearing.
No. Oh dear.
Why the fuck is there like
Yeah.
this horror movie ad on this website? Fucking get rid of that. Hey,
Oh.
stare at that.
You're looking at the 80s horror movies that will still
Yeah.
scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, no, it's just like, what the fuck? I love
God
websites
damn
like
it,
this.
fandom.
Oh,
Scratch.
Gavin, you know how you said you were like going to throw us right into stuff like
Well-
around the start?
You'll be going pretty fast into it because it'll become pretty obvious like how much time has passed between this campaign and the other one because I'll mention it basically right away.
100 years.
The first thing I thought of
day.
when you said
5
the
minutes.
thing I thought when you said that was that you were gonna both like Brig and Wolf and just have the town get attacked.
Oh, the town just getting randomly sieged? Yeah, no, I don't think I
Yeah.
would do that.
That would be a thing. I'd just be like,
I'd be-
okay.
We're just asleep, suddenly things are on fire outside and they're screaming.
Yeah, so like even though like you really didn't want to be surprised, motherfucker. Wait, hold on. No, hold on.
Surprise, motherfucker.
There we go.
No,
You have that conveniently there too. Okay?
I have a lot of sound cues I could use. I fucking love this. I love how much stupid shit they put into this thing. By the way, we're just sort of waiting for my bot to kick in. I don't know if anybody's going to show up. It's fine. I'm not going to be reading chat even though I have it open. And I might need
If
to
you get
randomly
solar, then
change things.
put it in game yet.
No, because it still hasn't shown up in there, and I just normally copy and paste it over.
The fuck? Somebody... Oh god. I guess somebody liked an emote that I made as a joke because they just made like a proper version of it in another Discord that I'm in. So I'm like, dear god, now everybody's spamming that.
Perfect.
Nice.
Dear god, that's stupid. Oh the fuck! Wait, how long has it been? Because it usually takes about like 4 minutes for that bot to kick in. It's been about a couple minutes. It'll be fine.
It's been 10 years, Gavin. You've been in a
It's
coma.
not been that long.
Well, maybe
He's still in denial.
He's still in denial. Gavin, you've been in a coma. We all thought we were. It's a miracle you woke up.
Gavin, you died 10 years ago. What do you mean?
He's
This is your time in purgatory, Gavin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're stuck with us.
I thought you knew.
That's your personal hell.
No. No, please, not like this.
Yes, like this.
Well, eventually things will kick off. Drink water. It's fine.
I mean,
I gotta
Your
get myself like kind of
going
like
here, like-
mentally prepared for this. Hey, let's set the mood really quickly because I know like where you guys are gonna be at the start of this. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. That's the wrong music. Try this one. This is better.
Unlike some people, we have shit to do tonight, Gavin.
Well, it's I mean like I technically have stuff to do.
There it
too.
is.
Hey,
There goes Nightbot.
hey, no, that's not gone off. Now I can pretend the people paying attention.
Whoa.
Woo.
Yeah.
Unlike people, yeah, you're making a very broad assumption here. I just want to point that out.
You make it sound like I'm not even trying.
Maybe you're not. Monkey shake.
No, baka.
Baka.
Please no.
All right. Let's get the screen over.
I think before we start, I think a wholesome meme.
there you go. And thrown into community.
Oh, one thing I should quickly do actually is disable song request, and there we go. No, nobody thinks there's song request.
Meme song.
Some
Pop
people
up there.
think I always put it in the title like song request is enabled, but some people think I just have it on all the time because I always usually have it on all the time. But okay, I can't during
Wholesome
this.
memes.
Anyway, oh, by the way, just so you guys know, the chat for the D&D thing is visible on stream now, so people can see what you type in there. So when you do your
Oh,
rolls,
neat.
people will all be seeing that, which is fantastic because I'm
Should I
fancy.
just type something in just to
Useful.
see, just to make sure it works?
Yeah, it does work. It's monitor capturing. I can already see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
see it
yeah?
from here. I can
Oh,
also
okay.
see our names going down for the featuring, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I added that in so
Nice.
everybody knows who you guys are. I just was trying to make it look kind of slightly appealing.
No, it looks good.
Yeah, should be fancy.
I'm jealous.
It's still got a bunch. It's still got the meme chat on the left for whoever the fuck wants to post in there. Anyway,
Hey, I mean,
you guys all here, ready to go?
Hi,
Yep.
yes.
No.
Well, that's a shame.
don't listen to him.
Don't listen to him. We're ready to go. FLJ, are you in?
No.
Oh, okay, you're here.
Let's go.
Oh, you're actually.
All right.
No breaks.
Let's get into it then. And I got to get myself ready to fucking not like completely eat shit off the start of the campaign.
The narration.
Too late.
All right, I have a little introduction here. It's shorter than the last one, so it's fine.
You all died. You're now in heaven. The end.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
But no music?
The basilisk came back and murdered you all. Nothing I could do.
I don't want to spoil it, but I'll give you one hint. The basilisk does not appear in this campaign again.
Damn it, Gavin! You had one job.
Well,
I
it's
go
not
back to
tonight.
the cave just to see if the basilisk is still there.
What the fuck
Yeah.
would you go back?
Hey! That's my basilisk. Hands off, bud.
You know what? If you get turned to stone, I'm not helping you.
All right, here we
That's
go.
okay, I've got my
Iron
glasses
Stone. Wait a
that I
minute.
put over my helmet.
All right, here we go. Let me clear my throat. I'm fine.
Gross.
With the air of triumph still fresh in your mind, you all take a much-needed break to enjoy the rest of your day, with self-indulgence at your player's expense. Together, drinks were had and food was devoured and music was played as you gallantly enjoyed yourselves in spite of your many near-death experiences. Fate has given you this day and you shall enjoy it, even if it is hard to remember in the morning. The night is calm and quiet, you rest well and sleep off the excessive gluttony to be had, and by the morning you're dazed but reinvigorated and ready to take on the world yet again. That's literally the entire introduction. So, as what will happen is that one day is basically passed after you guys got your payment from Titus. You basically spent the entire rest of that day, because you were all pretty much wrecked after your journey and your trip, just enjoying yourselves in the sanctity of your bar. The whole evening was paid for, including your food and your stay, and you're all just starting to sort of climb out of your rooms and travel on downstairs. And so here's my question, because I'll let one of you guys pick who is the early bird. Who wants to head down first?
Guess I will.
Okay.
Zaylis, you're going to head downstairs first.
Yeah, which
So-
is out of character for my real self, but
So you head downstairs and you come across the bar. The bar is like basically the time of the day is that it's solidly morning, so the sun's been up for about an hour or so. And I'd say roll me a Constitution save just to see if you're hungover from the night before.
Oh.
Constitution save.
Yeah, so if you go to your save rolls on your page, you'll see there's Constitution. I mean, he's got pretty high Constitution. I'm sure he's going to power through that ale unless
Is
he
it a
rolls a
normal
1.
roll?
Rolls a 1.
Yeah, roll a normal roll.
Full one, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. You got a bit of a mild daze and headache because you just had a really long evening. But besides that, you're totally fine, ready to take on the day again. You come downstairs. There's quite a few people actually in today. So about half the tables are all full of various adventurers of various races, all just having their morning breakfast. And Naomi, as usual, is manning the pub in the back.
Go over to Naomi and apologize.
Cool.
All right. So what are your exact words to her then?
I'm sorry, I am a fucking moron. Wait. Can I do a charisma roll for that?
Go ahead.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
That's not
I'm
good.
sorry, I'm a moron, but I don't put the fucking in there.
She kind of looks at you sort of sideways with a sort of surprise expression, but she's like, "Oh, it's fine." I mean, at this point, you kind of, when you're looking at her and you say that, she does believe you. It doesn't hold anything against you, but she also might just think right now you're hungover and you're not thinking clearly either with your behavior. But she still believes you.
I'd like to add that I did not try hitting on her again, even while drunk.
Okay.
Roll for that. Hey,
No. Let's say that that's actually the case. It's true. So which one of you is coming downstairs next?
I'll come downstairs next.
All right. So as FLJ's sort of like been there only for like a couple minutes or so, Annette ends up walking back downstairs, and she will obviously see Zalis and at the bar.
Do I have to roll a Constitution check? Save?
Sure, why not?
Okay. I have a 1 Constitution, so this is going to go very, very poorly.
Hello, Mario Maniac.
Oh.
Yeah, Mario Manic, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so basically you two are on the exact same even footing. Imagine that! So you are, you're not really hungover at all. You're just a little dazed from your long evening. So there you go. You walk downstairs, you see Zalis down there. What's your response?
Good morning!
Hey.
Hey.
Ow.
Wait, are we just assuming that everyone drank?
Basically assuming everybody drank.
I'm assuming all of our characters are old enough, so...
Nobody's underage here.
You would hope that, but...
Side eyes and net, like, wait, how old are you?
I think my character is way too much of a shut-in to try to be with people.
You drank silently in the corner.
Well, you at the very least, you guys ate well. That would also give you a little bit of an effect.
Yeah, that'll work then.
But yeah, so let's say that Annette wanders downstairs. She comes up and joins Zalis by her side. At that point, Naomi looks at the two of you and goes like, "So what will you two be having for breakfast?"
I actually can't remember what the menu is.
And she basically just like pulls out a small listing and hands it out in front of
Wait,
you.
I have it.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah, it's on one of my. It's on one of my vestments.
You wrote down the breakfast menu on your holy vestments.
Hey.
I obviously knows the vestment. Like that seems new.
Oh fuck! It just says it just says bread for the body of Christ and wine for his blood. All right, that's the menu.
I don't think wine's a good idea for breakfast.
Nah, this isn't for here. It's for the church. That's all they have.
The church? Oh.
Well, Naomi looks at the two of you and she says, well, she basically looks at the two of you, sort of back forth. She says, I can recommend you the eggs and ham.
I would love some eggs and ham.
Me too.
All right, so she gets to the back and starts preparing yourselves your breakfast. Which one of you comes down next?
I have a moment of pondering. What if I decide I'm Jewish?
Jewish in this world?
Hazel is sleeping in, so.
Okay.
You might want to have said that sooner.
Okay, so Osiris, you're getting bullied out to come out next.
Even ones that don't exist.
I was gonna say I show up with Hazel, but she's apparently slept in.
Damn it, she got away from you.
To be fair, Hazel kind of got it rough last night.
She nearly died twice.
Crazy.
Dude, I was gonna go first because I didn't get hit at all, so I would be fine. But
exactly.
All right, so Osiris walks downstairs and sees the two of them at the bar.
I just silently took a seat beside both of them, not to say a word.
Good morning, Osiris.
Hello.
It's so much conversation. It's great. At this point, a short couple moments pass before 2 plates of food are passed out in front of Zalis and Annette, and she then Naomi turns to Osiris and says, "Well, you'll be having the same."
No, I'll be fine.
Suit yourself. So the two of you have breakfast there. And
actually, I turn to Naomi and ask, "What's the bitterest and most caffeinated thing you can get me?"
She just sort of looks at you kind of like oddly and goes like, "Well," she sort of like kind of looks around in the back for one of the cabinets for a few moments, and then she pulls out this like small canister and goes like, "We have this, which is I'm not quite certain what it's for, but people say it's invigorating."
I'll take it.
She shrugs and passes it down to you. It's sort of like it's sort of think of it as like a tin canister with like a screw on top kind of thing. and sort
Oh,
of like,
that's not suspicious.
So a flask.
it's basically, think of it like a thermos.
Oh,
Okay.
How delicious is this breakfast, Gavin? This is important.
I would say if I were to roll on a die, I would say it's a little apparently it's a little plain today. The eggs are good, but the ham's not a thing to be writing home about.
I'll take it.
So after you guys have a moment to try and eat, you're a little bit of like awkward sounds radiating over from Osiris as he takes his drink. Finally,
I don't even take off my helmet. My drink just matches.
Finally, Hazel walks down, and Hazel, I want you to make a dexterity save for me.
Already.
Oh boy.
Oh, there you go. So here's the thing: you're a little bit groggy coming out of your bed this morning, and you didn't realize that you actually had the blanket tied around your ankle as you were going down the stairs. The good thing is that it lets go, so you don't have to worry about tripping and falling down the stairs first thing in the morning. But you sort of shrug it off as you walk up to everybody else.
and I put my head on the table and just kind of
fall back asleep.
I don't even look at her. I just ask, how are your injuries?
I've felt better, but I suppose being alive is a good thing currently.
Yeah. You're at least alive.
Cheers to that.
Cheers!
It's too early to be happy.
I completely understand.
Naomi walks up to you, Hazel, and says, will you be having anything?
Milk. Maybe some bread.
Milk.
And just put my head back down.
She nods and gets you those things right away, passing you like a couple slices of toasted bread and a large glass of milk.
What, would you like a ball of yarn too?
Rude.
That's racist.
That's a racist, actually, yeah.
Hazel will now go and dig her claws into your kneecap.
all right. Hey, roll me.
Just super sarcastically says that.
Roll a d20 then. See if you dig your claws through his armor.
Roll
Nope.
You sure as fuck try, but it does absolutely nothing.
We just hear a light. No, we just hear a light. Ding.
This seems more accurate than if you rolled a natural 20, by the way.
Well, at that point, I mean, like, you tear the armor off.
Just rips off his helmet. What'd you fucking say to me?
I roll a strength to try and get her off of me.
So, at this point, you're all sort of just, like, finishing off your food there. While you're there, you see that there's like a number of people that are there. Like I said, more than half of the place is full for the day. But as you're starting to finish, that's mostly what everybody else is already long since finished that was already there. And a few of the people start to head out the door. So it starts to vent out a little bit till there's only about like 4 or 5 tables that have been filled, and there's only about like a little less, under a couple handfuls of people in the room. Funny enough, actually, as this is all going on and you guys are just starting to finish off your breakfast, the door barges in, and in comes in that really manly lizard man from the day before, and he's hauling an unconscious, bloodied person bound in chains through the door. He sits down at one of the tables, and there's another guy at the table with another couple larger men standing behind him, and they sort of look at each other, exchange a pouch of gold, and then the 2 burly men walk away with the guy in chains along with the extra man that was with them. It's quite the scene, actually.
Wonder what that was about.
I think he's a bounty hunter.
Maybe.
Hey, Zealous, wanna go check it out?
Sure, why not?
Zell, so you're gonna walk up to this guy and talk to him?
Yeah.
He's gonna try.
All right. So you walk over towards him. He's not even talking to anybody or seeing anybody. He's just sort of picking his teeth out with a toothpick. But I mean, what do you go up and say to him?
Give me a charisma roll.
You don't. Yeah, no charisma roll. Give me what you're saying first.
You know, if I have to come up with it on my own, it would be like, so, you slime out here often?
Oh boy.
Is that actually what you say to him?
He
No,
can't leave you alone for 5 minutes.
No.
Can't leave them alone for one.
So what's that about?
So the lizard man sort of just stares at you idly out of the corner of his eye, and he just like pockets his toothpick again. He just says, "It's business as usual."
Yup.
What do you do for?
I can imagine. All right. So, can I do a fucking like? Can I try to like? I don't know.
Keep in mind, you can keep asking him anything you want. The only time you have to actually try and roll is if you're trying to get more information out of him, and he doesn't seem to want to give you any.
I mean, I just asked what you do for business.
Yeah.
It's just I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's just a bounty hunter.
Well, you only know what you've seen of him so far. You probably can assume he's in the employment that you're in as well.
So are you a bounty hunter too?
He nods. Yeah,
crap.
that was my latest bounty I just handed off.
I'm going to restart my computer. Something's not working. Be right back.
No worries.
Roll.
We'll just assume
roll
Hazel
to see-
passed out on the table.
Roll to yeah. Roll to see. You should roll to see how fast your computer takes to reset. If you get a 1, you get a blue screen.
Wait, what do you?
I just got a 1! Whatever.
Oh boy.
Alright, what do you say, FLJ? Keep in mind, his response to you is like, yeah, that was my latest bounty I just handed off right there.
So, how often would you say you take on new bounties?
Sort of looks around. About as much as they come in. Titus usually hands off the contracts to me. I've been seasoned to doing it for years.
I didn't hear anything through the grapevine lately.
Perhaps, he says, though nothing you're really capable of doing, I believe. He sort of leans forward on the table and sort of stares at you kind of heavily and goes like, "You're new here. How long have you been working here?"
Well, we just did our first bounty here, so, I mean... Yeah, you're right, we're pretty new.
What was your bounty
day-
then?
Hmm?
What was your bounty then?
We had to go check out, see who was stealing all the ale from a brewery, and then we got attacked by a basilisk, even though nobody believes us.
Of course, no one's gonna believe us.
Well, I don't blame you. I don't believe you either. But wait, you were the ones. You were the ones that got the shipment sorted out.
Oh, yeah, that was us.
He sort of reaches forward with his hand and opens it up to you and goes like, "Thanks a bunch, brother."
I shake his hand.
He smiles.
Friends.
Wait, I have a question. Do you not always report to Titus for your bounties? You sure didn't look like you handed that man off to him.
Titus may have given him the bounty, but the bounty came in from a client. So
I'm pretty sure
chances are that
Titus
he
is
arranged with the client to pick him up as that person at the inn.
Pretty sure Titus is the only bounty hunter. Is the only bounty giver here, by the way.
Is he not the head of the whole thing?
He is the head of the guild, yes.
Yeah.
Either way, after shaking your hand, he just sort of smiles at you and goes, "My name is Draxel. What's yours?"
Zalus.
Osiris.
You're a paladin?
Annette.
Yes, I am.
Just in the background.
Is everybody doing their fucking, like, roll call in the background?
Roll call, everybody!
What?
Hazel's
hey guys,
just
why
gonna
don't
stay
you come
silent.
over here so this is slightly less awkward?
I happily come over and join our friend.
Hazel pulls up her hood and just kind of continues to eat silently.
The one that looks like that's passed out over there is Hazel.
So,
She had a rough night.
So let's just jump back a little bit. Let's jump back a little bit. So after before Annette wanders over, he responds to your question when he says, like, you say you admit to him, like, yes, I'm a paladin. He says, "Oh, what faith do you follow then?"
It's complicated.
I can relate to that. And at that point, that's when Annette wanders back over and she says hello to him as well.
Hello.
He sort of looks at you kind of like hollowly and then sort of goes, "I recognize you. You're the one that was playing music yesterday, weren't you?"
I was playing the harp. That piano needs to be tuned, by the way. I'm just saying.
The only one of them that was playing
We don't
music.
talk about that.
Who was the one playing the piano? Who's your friend?
No, it was
our
not.
Bard.
It was not her.
I hope I never see her ever again. That piano playing was terrible. Maybe question my entire being here.
Hazel just starts coughing in the back.
I'm just eyeballing the piano, and I want to go over and just pluck a few keys to see if it's in tune.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It sounds really bad.
You know, I think he likes you enough. I don't think you need to get rid of that song.
No, I'm not gonna play a song. I'm just gonna test a few keys.
I'm
Damn it!
warning
I
you.
really should have taken that bard.
So
spell
are
before.
you actually going to walk away from the lizard man and test those keys, Applejack?
No. I might do it on the way out.
Oh, okay. Well, after he walks, he sort of looks at you, goes like, he sort of like looks you up and down, and then he goes like, so you're a druid
I am.
and an angel folk.
I am. How'd you know?
The eyes give it away.
Can we just have everybody respond with "No, I've seen everything"?
He was about to say, "No, I've seen everything."
You know the halo totally doesn't give away that you're an angel folk.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, yeah, I forgot that Annette has a halo.
That's just a "Now I've seen everything." It's just a running gag.
Now, keep in mind, he sort of really quickly, like again, he pulls out a knife and just starts clipping away at some of the grunt on his claws, and he just says, "I've hunted a few of your kind before, actually. Some of the ones that are more fallen than you."
Oh, them. Is it really that strange for my kind to become druids? Doesn't seem like it should be that strange.
Well, usually when you see angel folk, they're more willing to be what he is over here. He says, indicating over towards
Okay, that's
Zalus. You and your beliefs and such
Like,
usually
are
draw
they-
you over to being clerics and paladins. It's strange that typically I've only seen hermits and such take the secluded life of a druid. Makes me wonder, how did you even become one?
Well, I actually can't tell you. It's a secret.
Well, as you can tell, she's not really secluded.
He sort of stares at you kind of like silently for a moment, trying to read your character before he just decides to look back away. He pucked his knife once again and stands up and he goes like, "Alright, well I've got business to attend to, so I guess I'll be seeing the two of you later."
It was nice meeting you.
I'm invisible apparently.
And as he walks out the door, he's going to roll a d20 really quickly.
Why?
He does not notice you, Hazel.
Nice.
And then he walks out the door. So,
Oh, that was my voice, in case you got confused.
So as he walks out the door, Naomi comes by with a small sheet of paper and hands it to Hazel and sort of tucks under her arm. It has the bill for the four of you on it.
Cyrus goes back to his room because he forgot something.
Of course.
Motherfucker.
Zalus goes over to test the piano.
Ah, so you test the piano?
Yeah, just pluck the keys to see if it's in tune. Don't actually play anything.
Alright, fine. You find that the piano is still out of tune.
So maybe it wasn't all their fault.
I tried to tell you.
Ah, shoot, don't fuck
How
me if I said, like, the piano's perfectly in tune, she goes to play it again and it's out of tune again.
How much is the bill?
The bill is,
That piano.
the bill for the four of you for breakfast is 40 silver.
I'll walk back over to Osiris and hand him 10 silver.
Osiris went upstairs.
He's upstairs right now,
He
yeah.
booked it.
Cyrus just returned with an extra dagger.
And then only has gold.
Well, if you have gold, they can give you. They have you. Every one piece of gold is worth 10 silver.
Yeah, okay. So I just
Did I miss
walk over
anything?
I walk over to the counter and just set a piece of gold on there.
We'll set 2 and get back 6 silver.
Sounds good.
Well, I just got here, so.
And everyone else should probably just owe 8 gold apiece. So I paid 14. I paid 14 for freaking bread and milk.
It's
Meanwhile,
a
everyone else got
rounded bill.
freaking
It's for
ham and
everybody.
eggs.
Let's say that yours was cheaper, but let's say it's Osiris's was more expensive because it was an exotic drink.
Jesus, Cyrus.
How much was it? How much was the drink?
44
30
total.
I would
34.
say it was like around like 5 to 8 silver for the bread and the milk, and it would be like 10 silver for the plate of ham and eggs, and then it would be like whatever's remaining after that for the
So that
drink.
was so the
Okay,
drink
I'll
was
put-
16.
Yeah, around that much.
I'll chip in. Annette will chip in 2 gold pieces for her share then.
Wait, 16 gold pieces?
No,
16 silver.
The
silver,
total
so-
price is 40
Forget.
silver.
Oh, 40? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
40 silver total for everybody.
Oh, so
And you said
that's 12
Gold
silver.
pieces.
Sorry, I didn't mean gold, I meant
Gold
silver.
pieces
I meant
10,
40
right?
silver. That's sorry. 40 gold for breakfast is like fucking extortion.
Also, it's also that wasn't even that particularly great as we rolled to find out.
It's all because of my drink.
Yeah,
That
well,
alone was probably like 20 gold.
Yeah,
Your drink- Your
Annette's
drink
gonna
was a
chip.
platinum.
Annette's gonna chip in 2 gold pieces for her share of the meal.
All
I'll
right,
chip in
well,
two.
you guys have all paid off your stuff now, from the sounds of it. And, well, at this point, you have not been given a quarry yet, or of any kind, so the day is yours, actually, to be had if you guys want to go and actually spend it how you need to in town, or
I
you
stopped
can
by the
rest it out.
blacksmith.
Yo, you want to go back to that blacksmith?
yeah.
Man, I gotta write a character for this guy.
Because I actually have
it's just-
stuff to spend now.
That is true, yeah. So
know,
let's
but
say...
Whenever you bring in a new character, but you don't
Let's all
have
go shopping.
you don't have a character planned out for that NPC, just
I
use
had
the
to
same
write one
guy.
for the fucking lizard man!
Just use the same guy in a different costume every time.
Oh boy.
Have it be the lizard man's twin brother.
Alright,
The
so
lizard man has a bunch of twins.
Well, they're lizards. They all look the same.
Naomi
Great
sort of
fit.
like,
Oh!
she accepts her payment with a smile, and she says, thanks for staying. And that's basically it for then. You've only been paid for the one day, of course, and everything like that, so that's why you're paying for your breakfast for the today. But you have not gotten any word from any kind of person at the guild to go speak to Titus, and Titus has not come to you personally about anything. So, with plans, some of you said you wanted to go shopping with your day, so which one of you are going to head out?
And that's
I will head out with
What besides the
Cyrus,
blacksmith
since we
is
both-
there?
yeah,
There's
Annette,
plenty of
Annette's gonna,
spots.
yeah, Annette's gonna go out to the market, I guess, with them.
The mall.
The mall.
The mall.
And what about you,
You
Zalus?
go to the mall to see that no one's there, and almost all of the stores are closed down for good.
Wow. What is this, Dead Rising?
Basically.
No, it's my local mall.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Whoops.
I mean, Dead Rising malls were open. They're just full of zombies.
Yeah, Dead Rising malls were fucking thriving.
Well, Dead Rising malls of dedication in their stores.
Okay, anyways, back to D&D.
So,
They really
Zalus,
take
what are you
it
going to be
they really
doing then
want that
today?
overtime.
So
The
besides,
same thing we
there's,
do every day, Kevin. Try and take over the world.
More or less.
there's the blacksmith in the market. Remember, I just kind of walked through town to find a tree to lay on at the outskirts.
Yeah,
last
so you've
time.
seen some of the town already.
I think I'm gonna go to the
How much of the town do I remember based on Annette's lost wander?
I'd say you remember
Oh,
it
yeah,
fairly.
that's
You didn't get completely lost, so you remember basically most of the wander that you went around through. The wander definitely encompassed the heart of the city that you went through, because you passed through it already once before, and a little bit of the docks area where you arrived. Besides that, you know loosely connected areas in the outskirts of town approaching the walls. But you don't know the entirety of the town. I'd say you know a good about 30% of the town, 40%.
Okay, I'll just go. I'll just follow my more directionally unchallenged teammates to the market.
All right, so you guys head out there. You spend a little bit of time wandering outside, stuff like that. With the morning being fairly fresh, stuff like that, business is already kind of up and rolls now. Actually, hold on a second here. Will I change up your music here for some little bit of a
I
difference?
swear, if you
Ye-old
go to the
town
marketplace for Hyrule Castle, I will be upset.
No, I don't have that music. Although I mean, like that'd be really distracting. So yeah, you guys wander into town, and immediately you're met by. The weather's not doing too good right now. It's a little bit overcast for the most part, so it's a little bit darker than yesterday. But the day's still fine. It's not raining yet either. And business is thriving just like it was when you guys first arrived. After all, it's virtually around the same time now because it's like a little bit before noon. And with where you... I was just thinking that song. Jesus, Mario. You wander inside town. And for the most part, you guys are heading towards the main hub of the market center there. There's quite a variety of things that are there, though I don't quite know exactly what you guys are looking for, if any of you guys have anything in mind. I know two of you are looking for the blacksmith right now.
Well, what's
I'm
there?
also looking to sell off the wolf pelts that I took.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
What's there, Gavin?
there are definitely people in town that are selling off furs and stuff like that. But I mean, you'd have to go and try and barter with them to be able to sell it to them
Yeah.
directly.
I'll go to them afterwards, but I just want to take note of what each person is attempting to sell, and then try and decipher who I want to try and sell to.
Sounds good. All right,
This
so
wolf is the one that nearly killed me.
so as you're walking through the town market here, it's fairly uneventful though. You're all sort of like packed together a little bit so you don't lose each other. You're heading primarily towards the blacksmith at the start, and you can follow the same familiar pathway down through one of the town alleyways towards the sounds of hammers clanging against metal, and you find the familiar orc guy there smashing away at another piece of steel that he's working. He turns over as he's quenching one of his swords and notices you approaching with a bigger crowd this time, and he smiles at you and greets you kindly with a big, "Hello there, see you again. What can I do for you?"
Yeah. I'd like to pick up possibly a dagger as well as another short sword.
Dagger and another short sword. Sort of strokes his beard a little bit. Got plenty of those. Hold on while I go into the back and find those. So as he disappears in the back, you hear him again cluttering through the massive pile of shit that he's assorted for himself, and it doesn't take too long for him to find a variety of things. The first thing he pulls out is this fairly like small wooden box. It's basically about like a couple feet in diameter, and it's just got an open top to it. He sort of plucks it down on the ground on a table nearby you actually, and that's just full of daggers. You can definitely tell he's made these one or two many times, and from the rest of that, he goes back into the area where he was as well, and it takes him a second longer. You hear a sheath of a sword before it closes up again, and then he comes out with a fairly simplified and lightweight short sword as well. He pops it down on the table as well. And he's like, "Is these gonna do you for you?"
I take a look at them real quick just to verify workmanship. Yes, these should do fine. How much?
He looks over at the weapons. Looks over everything else that he's basically looks over the entire group in general and stuff like that. And he goes like, "For the short sword, that'd be 10 gold, and for the daggers, 2 gold apiece."
All right, so I will go ahead and hand them off 12 gold. Move down to 75.
He takes your gold and smiles, and he says, "Always a pleasure doing business with you." And as he takes the remainder of the daggers back from the box and slowly hauls them back over to the side of his shop again, turns back and looks at the rest of the party, and he goes, "And what about your friends? What can I do for all of you?"
I would. Sorry.
I don't suppose you have anything that might use some finesse.
Well, that depends what you're looking for. Most of my stuff is for heavy wielders. I have stuff for you. Just let me know what you might have in mind.
Is there a place I could buy a shield or some armor?
And he just sort of looks around and looks over his shoulder, and there's like shields and armor hanging on the back wall, and he says like, "Yes, here."
Oh, would you happen to? No, you can probably tell I'm a druid, so I actually can't use metal for my armor or my shield. So would you happen to have anything that isn't actually metal?
He looks sorry. He shrugs for a little bit and goes, "Sorry, it's my trade. I barely even do leather."
Well, shoot.
I don't suppose you...
Have them dump out the taggers and give you the box.
It's a helmet.
No, just cut holes in it and use it as body armor.
Do you know? Well, in that case, do you happen to know where I could maybe find some more magical item?
He definitely shakes his head and goes like, "Absolutely not. I don't deal with magic weapons."
Well, darn it.
Now, that said, I'm sure there's somebody in town, but I can't say for certain.
I don't suppose you've created anything as unorthodox as a battle scythe, have you?
A scythe? For a weapon? He strokes his beard for a second. I've made them for farmers. I've not made one for fighting, but I might have something if you let me take a quick check.
Can you fashion one into more combative?
He sort of looks at everything and looks at his forge and he says, "I'm well equipped to do most anything if you have the coin to pay for it."
What are you thinking?
While that goes on, Gavin, can Annette actually see somewhere that might see a place that might be more suited for her class and tastes?
Yes, absolutely. If you want to leave the group for that.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I want to go see if I can find something that I can actually buy. No offense.
I'm assuming
Don't do anything stupid.
I'm with the rest of the group, right?
You are with them, yeah. He's just dealing with that right now. But he, for right now,
I know my way around. I won't get lost. Maybe.
I didn't say getting lost. I said doing something stupid.
So for the most part,
you can fashion a cowbell to her?
for the most part, he looks at the forge and he goes through his remaining of his materials, and he actually goes in the back and he actually has like a farming scythe, albeit it's a flimsy thing that's not made for combat. And he looks around the rest of it before popping back out, and he says, "I could fashion you something, but it's going to take me some time. How much are you willing to pay for this?"
Well, this
70
point. Whoa!
gold.
70 gold. He strokes his beard a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, that's a nice
I'm
number."
expecting something of its worth.
And how heavy is this thing going to be?
I'm hoping that you could perhaps make it more fluted and perhaps collapsible for ability reasons, but I'll take what I can.
You want this to be a mechanical, or he sort of looks around a bit, sort of baffled a bit and stuff like that before he points his finger up just one more moment. He goes into the back and he has a bunch of plans and papers sort of stocked away from the forge, and he sort of pulls through a few of them before opening up a few documents and just reading through some of his plans. He puts a few pieces of paper aside before he comes back to you and he says, "I could definitely make something. I can't guarantee it. Give me about 2 or 3 days to work something out for you, and if I can guarantee it, then I'll take it on." He says, he sort of taps his finger on the table in front of them and he goes, "You save 70 coin to pay up for this, possibly?"
I'll pay it if it appears to be something I would like to use.
Well, for right now, because of the time that I'm going to have to put into investing into making this contraption of yours, I'd like 30 gold up front.
Deal.
He nods and you hand him off the gold, and he seems quite astounded you have that amount of gold to pay for a weapon like that, but he more than happily pockets it away, and he says, "Alright, I'll get to working on that. Come back to me in 2 to 3 days, and hopefully I'll have some progress for you."
I'll be looking forward to it.
And after he deals with that, he wanders back, stashes the gold away in his safe, and then he turns back towards Zalus and he says, "Wait, sorry, what were you gonna say?"
I was just gonna point out that I'm glad you actually made it split up, because I can't think of the word that you use for that kind of like deal where you pay once first and.
Well, the thing is, I actually know how much a scythe costs in the game and stuff like that, and even after a markup and stuff like that, the ability for you to like pay up like that much money for it and stuff like that is like, that's more than enough to convince him.
Yeah. I figured I might have been overpaying anyways, but
hey, you're overpaying, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm expecting something good.
Oh, you'll get something good if you're willing to wait for it.
Yep.
So now he walks back over and he sees Zalus sort of like minding his own business and stuff like that, and he says, "And what about you, buddy? What can I do for you?"
Huh?
Freaks
up there in
out.
the corner, just up there in the corner, just in my own world, just looking at my vestments.
Would you like some more armaments for yourself, sir?
Not today.
Suit yourself. I'm always here, always smithing, always giving away quality work.
Actually, one more thing I would like to ask.
I'm just thinking right now, like, I didn't actually get to test out your quality work.
Actually, I turned to the blacksmith and asked him one more thing. Hey, do you know how much I can get for these 2 daggers? I'm supposing that you're just going to buy them off of me.
What are you trying to sell? You're trying to sell the daggers?
Sell 2, yeah. Or
Sell 2 of the daggers? Well, how many did you buy off of him?
no, I didn't buy any.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
right. Start with.
And he looks at you and he sort of says like, I think it was. What did I say about it before for the dagger?
You said it was like 2 for each. I think.
Yeah, 2 for each, and that's exactly what he replies to you back, is saying like 2 gold apiece. He says, looking at the daggers, that should be fine enough to resell.
I don't suppose you could give me 1 more gold for each because these are not your work.
He sort of shrugs and looks at you and says, son, I can make daggers for days. 2 gold pieces each.
All right, and I'm off to and then receive that.
And he hands off the other 2 gold coins to you, or the 4 gold coins back to you, and he says like, as always, pleasure doing business.
How do I get rid of this? Like daggers?
Your dagger attack in your thing?
Yeah.
I can do
don't
that for
go
you.
in the don't do it in the attack area. Do it inside your equipment, and then just erase it from there. That should erase it from the attacks and spellcasting area.
Yeah, it's in there. Either way, if I'll take a look at it for you in a second. If you can't figure it out,
All right.
you'll have a
Yeah.
moment for right now. As you guys are sort of finishing up your business there at the blacksmith, we sort of transport a little bit over to Annette, who's currently wandering about the city. She's wandered back out of the alleyway, back into more of the heart of the marketplace, and from there she's sort of. She needs. What exactly are you looking for as you're wandering about these stalls?
Basically just something that maybe a proprietor that can actually sell some like more armor that's suited for a druid, or maybe something that can sell some somewhere I can actually sell my Bane scroll. I still have that.
Let's take a look at this really quickly here as I just pull this up. So, as you're wondering about, there are definitely other traders of different, classes of smiths, basically, as you're walking through there. The one that you had just spoken to was primarily a metalsmith, is that it was entirely his dealing.
I realize.
And as he admitted,
I
like, he's
realized
not
that,
gotten
yeah.
anything out of leather, woodcraft, anything like that might be more useful for you. However, you definitely do see that there's, like, amongst the huntsmen that are selling off skins, there's a stall nearby that you wander across that is specifically outfitted with a few pieces of leathered armor.
Oh, I'd like to approach them then.
All right. Well, you see, it's a young elven guy there actually, who's running about his stall, trying to attract the attention of ongoers. As you approach him, he attracts your attention and greets you welcome. He's like, "Welcome, welcome, please. Is there anything I can offer
Hello.
you?"
Yes, actually, I'd like to buy some armor. This leather armor, it didn't really cut. It's not really cutting out for me, as it turns out.
Well, he sort of looks you one over and stuff like that, and says, "Oh, I definitely have something I can do better than that for you." And he goes around in the back and, or basically a small stall. He goes in the back really quickly and sort of pulls out one large piece of studded leather. He says, like, it's not much of an improvement, but there's this, if you wanted to try and go up a little bit higher. I also have, as he reaches into the back as well and pulls out something that's significantly heavier, a piece of crude hide leather as well. And he says, like, these 2 here could do you just fine, I believe.
Now, are both of those medium armor?
The studded leather is light, the hide is medium.
Okay. How much are they?
If you give me a second, I can tell you that really quickly.
Yeah, sure.
You have to make me look for these really fast.
What are you looking for? Hide?
So as he stares down at everything that he has there, he points out the studded leather and he says, "For this, 45 gold pieces." And he looks at the hide and he goes, "For this, 10 gold pieces."
I think I'll take. Wait, which one really? Okay, which one was which again? I'm trying to remember which one.
You've got the light armor that is the studded leather. That one's 45 gold. And you also have the hide leather, which is the medium armor he's offering you, and that's 10 gold.
Which
Now keep
one's
in mind
better?
that, like,
Which one's
they're
better?
both roughly the same weight. They both give you the same AC. I'm just going to break this for a little bit here. Keep in mind the main thing you're paying a difference for is that you're paying more for the other one because it's still light armor. So it's what your choice you want to make there.
I'll take the medium armor then.
Oh, all right. Are you proficient in medium armor?
I am.
Ah, look at that. Well
So
then,
is Hazel with her right now?
no,
Because-
she's on her own right now. This is happening sort of like just as you guys are finishing at the smith.
But she is actually proficient in medium armor.
Well then, he sort of says like, all right, 10 gold pieces for this then.
Now, could I actually help? Could I trade in my current armor to sort of reduce the price a little? Sort of like that plus some gold.
Well, he looks over your armor really quickly, and he does admit, going like, well, it's not in great condition for resale. If you're willing to part with some of its value.
I am. Like you said, it's not. I don't want to wear this anymore. Obviously, that armor, the armor I'm going to buy, is way better. I don't want to carry 2 pieces of armor around.
All right. Well, he says as he sort of looks over the rather brutally smacked apart armor that you're wearing. He goes like, all right, I can take that armor off your hands and give you this hide for 7 gold.
Okay, I'll happily pay the 7 gold then.
Deal, he says as he hands you off the armor.
I quietly slip off my armor to help with. I quietly slip off my armor, hand him the gold, and put on my new fancy armor.
Yeah, it does
Which
take
is
you a minute
what
to
again?
actually put that armor on, as
Well,
you would have to
obviously,
understand.
yeah.
The higher grade armor you have, the longer it takes. I think it's like pretty like it's like almost like you just like a quick moment to take leather off, and not that much longer to put medium on. But if you have to take heavy off, it's like stupid long.
Yeah, okay, so now I need to add that to my character now.
Yep, there you go. And your AC goes up by 1
Yay!
as you are wearing a better suit of armor, slightly better suit of armor.
So it's like, what, 15 or 14 now?
You'd
Should
be
be 15.
you'll be 15 now, yeah.
Okay, now what's the armor I have wearing?
Your dexterity modifier to a maximum of +2. Oh, hold on. What's your
Okay.
dexterity
I
modifier?
have my dex modifier? I don't know. What is it?
It's the big number next to your dex.
It's
I need
1.
to figure out how to draw
It's
this
1?
thing.
Okay, so you're just fine then. I was gonna say, like, if you were wearing medium armor and you were like Osiris, you'd actually like lose AC for wearing medium armor.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't.
You don't.
Plus,
No, you're fine.
So what am I? So what am I wearing now?
You are now wearing hide armor.
How much does hide armor weigh?
Hide armor, if I check it really quickly. Because I closed the tab, so sorry about that really
When you
quickly.
buy armor, it's like a full set,
That
right?
hide armor weighs 12.
Okay. I have updated my stats accordingly.
And there you go. So he sort of,
now-
like after he stashes away your, or he actually more like tosses it on the ground, your old suit of armor. He just says to you, "Can I help you with anything else then?"
Yeah. Would you happen to know where I can perhaps sell a magical scroll? If there's a location here.
Sort of looks at you quizzically. He's like, "Oh, there's magic stalls around this place. I don't think you need to go to anyone in particular, but yeah, I won't be taking that."
Well, I know you're not going to be buying it, but I wanted to know if you can actually direct me to a person that can.
He sort of like looks around to like up and down the streets, and he says like, "Well, I know there's something down there." He says, pointing sort of like southward down the road.
Okay, I'll go southward down the road then.
What direction is the blacksmith from this road?
It's a bit further north of her. She's not that far from you, actually. She's sort of like just a little bit outside of the alleyway you guys went down for the blacksmith.
I should still be in eyesight.
Yeah, you are. Well, I mean, she's difficult to see in the crowd, but she's still seeable. Yeah.
Okay.
So as she sort of starts to leave, the rest of you are finishing your business with the blacksmith. Where do you guys decide to head off to then?
So I'm gonna
I'm
go
just
and
following
look
the crowd.
for. I'm gonna look for someone that was dealing in tailoring as to try and sell off those pelts, and then also probably pick up a set of studded leather.
All right, fair enough. So Osiris and Zalis, are you going to be just following Hazel?
I suppose I'm just gonna follow Annette to make sure she doesn't get lost.
Well, at this point, you actually don't know where she's gone yet. So if you want to try,
Not
and
even
look for her-
a like vague direction.
Yeah, well, no, you have a vague direction. You know that she left the alleyway. You can leave too and try and spot her. Zalis, Applej, you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's
Just
your
wanna-
plan then?
Look around and see if anything interesting is going on.
So you're gonna follow the other two out back into the marketplace?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right. So as you walk back out there, and basically at that
I need a
point,
perception. I can see where she is.
you will need a perception check to be able to see where she is. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not able to spot her in the crowd.
Wait.
Yeah,
I spot
Zealous.
him.
You're anywhere?
Can I spot him with a perception check?
Well, you're not looking for them right now because you're actually walking the opposite direction of them.
I asked Zealous for a perception to see if he sees her.
Ah, fuck.
Zealous also
the
cannot
guys-
see her anywhere, and at that point, I'm like
You
thinking,
could
like,
just
is everybody just
yell
looking around, going, like, oh, where did she go?
Oh look.
That's persuasion.
Oh,
It's because I'm wearing.
For
the
some
armor.
strange reason, the
There you go. Same
Okay.
for some strange reason, the very short cat girl who like actually can't see that clearly over the crowd that's in front of her, it goes like, look, basically points out like, look, you dummies, she's down there.
Yep, just kind of wave that direction.
She's about
over
like
there.
she's about like 60,
randomly-
70 feet away from you, heading down the road.
God, you can hear like nothing.
Excuse me.
So
I just start
you-
walking towards that direction.
Yeah, so at that point you're gonna go off after them. So now at this point you're gonna be Hazel. You're gonna look for a place to sell up your skins.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
Zalus,
forward
are you just gonna wander?
Just following me,
Sure,
really.
Yeah, just following.
All right, so you follow after. So before we get back to Annette, we're gonna keep going on with Hazel right now. She wanders up and down the stalls a little bit. It doesn't take much to find a huntsman there anywhere, basically. As you can definitely tell, there's definitely people that are there for leather work and stuff like that. But in terms of like someone who's specifically tanning, it takes a little bit longer. You head a little bit more northwards up the road, actually back towards where your inn is, and you actually do finally come across a small stall. It's manned by a young woman who's working away at basically buying a number of the skins off of a number of people that are already coming up to sell them off to her as well. Similarly to what you're about to do, she spots you after dealing with another huntsman couple that have just come by, and she says, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
I have a few wolf pelts that I'd like to try and sell or maybe barter for possible wares.
And she says, "All right, fair enough. Yeah, let's take a look at how much you have."
And I will grab through my sack and pull out the 4 wolf pelts.
She sort of like hands them off and notices that like these are fairly like fresh, like they got some dried blood on it as well, basically because of the fact that
giant hole in
it was a
one.
pretty bloody encounter you guys had with the dog. It's hard to tell if the blood is actually the wolves or your own. But the fuck, those wolves were dangerous. So after she inspects them for a little bit, she goes like, "All right, for this," and she sort of looks over the pelts. How many did you give her again?
I gave her 4.
4 pelts. She looks over and goes like, I'll give you 20 silver each."
Gold.
Oh wait, I'm thinking not 20 silver each. I'm thinking, sorry, I'm doing the math wrong in my head because I was like, oh wait, that's 10 silver to 1 gold.
Yeah, so that's like 8 gold. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I'm doing that wrong in my head. I meant 5 silver each.
ouch. I'd like to think that these are at least worth 10 silver each.
You'd like that.
So, give me a persuasion check.
Sure. Do you want to take the old persuasion I already rolled? Or...
No, take another one. All right, and
Significantly less better.
she leans a little bit in on the table and sort of looks at you playfully and goes like, 8 silver each.
You should tell her that you almost died to one of them.
Yeah,
I don't think she'll care, but Hazel just kind of sighs and says, "Very well." And I'm looking to see if you carry studded leather. Looking for something that's a bit more resilient than what I've been using.
That's like holes all over it.
Kind of shows the stab mark that actually went through me from the goblin strike.
And all the scratches from the wolves.
Well, she sort of shrugs as she exchanges the coin for your skins, and she says, No, not that I'm aware. I don't deal with that. But she points down there, and she actually points to the guy that Annette was actually speaking to a little while ago. She says, like, he does. I know him. He's a nice fellow.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I guess I will head down that way. And that will give me 8 times 4 is 32, so 36 silver. Okay.
You guys are pretty well laid off, actually, considering the first quest. But
Yeah.
We would have had more.
I'm not. I'm gonna lose a ton of money.
Oh, God,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it was useful to like, pick up the chest that we found.
Oh yeah, that was a nice bonus that I put in for you guys. So you walk up to this guy and you see the young elven fellow again. Sees the you and Zalus approaching, and he goes like, "Yes, hello." Sort of bids you in like he did with, and then he's like, "What can I do for you?"
I was told by the pelt trader down the way that you work with studded leather.
Yes, Kate, she's a lovely girl. Yes, I've dealt with her plenty of times. I've got exactly what you're looking for right here. And he holds up some studded leather and just like throws down the table. And he's like, probably the some of the heaviest I deal with.
Take a look at it. And how much?
45 gold for this.
Price the guy in me.
Would you be willing to go down to 40?
Roll me another persuasion.
Yes!
I rolled 5. He sort of looks at you and sort of smiles, and your little feline charm kind of sinks in through to him, and he sort of smiles and wiggles his finger, and he goes like, "You know what? Just for you, I think I can do that for you."
I appreciate
Not
that.
she is.
And I will go ahead and pay him.
So that'll be 45 for your AC is now base of 12.
35. Or
now
30,
that
or 40. Blah. Gave you 40 gold.
yeah, 40 gold, and weight of that is 13, just so you know. And
Yeah.
also you can no, it is light, so you get the same dex modifier. So yeah, there you go. So that just gives you 1 more to your AC. So yeah, as he dusts off himself and catches the coin away, he looks over at Zeus and goes like, I don't suppose there's anything I can do for you too, sir. Evil J?
Oh,
Oh dear, we lost him.
Oh, he's here.
No,
he's here.
here.
So
my
the
Discord keeps cutting out.
I know worries. So as basically the leather trader just asked you like, is there anything you can do to help you as well?
Not really.
He sort of shrugs at you and goes like, if you insist.
Well, since I'm just gonna kind of ignore him because
And-
I'm not spending any more right now.
Well,
Yeah,
haven't you left to go after Annette?
And then
Yeah.
Wait, am I not? Is Zealous not walking with me?
Oh no, Zell stayed with Hazel.
Hazel.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, I'm gone. Never mind.
So at that point, the leather trader, he just goes back to sort of trying to barter in people to try and bring them into his stall. At this point, we're going to go back down to Annette, who's off on her own. You haven't exactly caught up to her just yet. Make an athletics check for me to see if you actually do catch up to her before she finds the stall.
Athletics. All right. Let me.
You'll be there soon. So, Annette, you're walking down further, and as you're going down along this way, the stalls start to thin out a little bit, but you start noticing some of the actual stores in the buildings and stuff like that carry like an inventory in the front window that's catching some of your attention. One of which that does catch your attention does seem to be someone that does trade in the crafts of magic, as you see a couple robes and tomes lying in the front window.
well, in that case, I enter that store.
So you walk inside, and you're greeted with a nice little bell jingle as you're walking in through the front door. And you walk into a place that's a fairly small place. It's barely big enough to hold like 10 people in it, and it's got like books and shelves stashed full of crap. And in the back corner of the store as you wander in, you get the nice faint smell of mahogany coming off of this man.
Yeah,
And
it is a good smell
this
for
guy
a
you're
villain.
looking at, he is a man who has seen some fucking time. He is very old, and he's sort of reading over one of his books as he's writing in it with one of his quills. He's got a decently lengthy beard that's almost touching the pages actually where he is. And he's got a nice big rimmed glasses he's staring through. He welcomes you and he's like, sort of like an agely, hello! What can I do for you?
Well, actually, I was wondering if I could sell this scroll bane I have.
Scroll of Bane, you say? He says as he takes it off of you and sort of inspects the pages. So he has to tilt his glasses a little bit to try and read it a little bit more clearly. As he's doing this, actually, Osiris comes into the store behind you as well.
There you are.
Hi, Osiris!
I'll be honest, I'm just imagining that scroll with a picture of Bane on it.
It's a
You
real
say
scroll,
that you say that the scrolls are your ally. I was molded by it.
You found my scroll, Batman. Oh.
It's a scroll of backbreaking, anyway.
Backbreaking.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
just giving that to the old man.
So as the man continues to look it over and stuff like that, he after basically raising his eyes back up, he's met by Osiris. So he staggers back a little bit, seeing this like very thuggish looking rogue having walked into his store, and he's like, "Oh my, is he a friend of yours?"
He is, actually. We recently completed a quest together with two of my other friends.
Standing there looking menacingly.
Oh, I'm sure he's a fine fellow.
He's a sweetheart. You just gotta get to know him.
I'll take
Wait, you
your
don't even
word
know
for
me
it. So as he looks over the scroll, he does he nods a little bit and goes like, well, indeed, it is a scroll of Bane. It's not a very powerful evocation, really. I have many scrolls here. Probably far better than it, but if you would like to...
But do you have one of Bane?
Actually, I think I do. I don't remember entirely if I do. But must be nice to add to my collection. He puts it down on the table in front of you and he's just like, I'll give you 2 gold pieces for it.
Could you do 3?
Roll for persuasion.
Okay.
Roll for intimidation.
Are you seriously gonna intimidate this old man?
No, I'm not. I'm not that
I
patient.
got this. Don't.
Just making a joke off of that.
So he looks at you guys like, I guess I can part for 3 gold pieces for this.
3 gold pieces, then.
So he hands you off the gold, and he takes a scroll and he tucks it into his sort of back robe pocket, and then he sort of wanders back over to his ledger, and he goes like, is there anything else I could do for you, young lady?
Yes, actually. Would you happen to have any magic you could sell to a druid?
What kind of magic are you looking for?
Do you have anything more attuned with nature?
Oh, hold on. FLJ's headset's died.
I'm honest to God surprised the old man was like, oh, you're an A-smart druid. Well, I've seen everything.
Well, I mean, he does look at you like a little bit underneath your,
Once
His
he actually
mobile
sees
could
me.
work, technically, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
As long as he plugs his phone in. Albeit he can't do his rolls himself. I'd have to do them for him. Anyway.
I mean, like, it won't stop him from using his computer in front of him.
Oh, that's
Like,
true,
or-
right, Derp.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
Yeah,
not like his computer died.
yeah, I thought it was just his headset, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if he can sort that out for himself. Thankfully, he's not doing anything right now. So the old man kind of looks around. He goes like, so basically what you're asking him right now is that you're saying, like, what kind of magic in particular? Because he doesn't sell spells, obviously, to you. Are you looking for
Something-
scrolls? Are you looking for a magical item of some sort?
Find a vestment for Zealous.
Actually, yeah. I'll look for some items.
Well,
So I might need-
he sort of goes like, well, I probably have something that could be of use to you. Hold on. And he disappears for a moment in the back of the store. You don't hear much in the back there, just the shuffling of a few things off of shelves here or there. Maybe briefly while he's there, you hear a loud as like a cloud of dust sort of kicks around the corner. And as he comes back in around the corner, he just happens to have a little box full of various small things. He sort of puts it down the table and starts to like rummage through it. And he says, "I'm not quite certain what you make for some of these. And then he pulls out actually a small smoking pipe actually, and he says like, "Oh, this is one of my favorite trinkets."
What does it do? Is it just a smoking pipe?
Oh, see for yourself. As he hands you the smoking pipe.
I quietly handle the smoking pipe.
Do you
What-
really?
And then he
want
sort
to
of
do that?
I
he
know
sort of
it's-
motions with his hands. He says, "Well, go on, take a blow."
Okay, I put it. She puts it up to her lips and takes a blow.
And at that, bubbles shoot out of the end of the pipe.
Oh,
It is one of my favorite things when I was growing up.
is this all? Is this all it can do?
I believe so. I've had that for
No,
years.
so
and
it's Genie.
I don't know anything else it can do. I know it's not
What
quite
else?
not quite useful, but if it's what you're
Oh,
looking for.
Oh, you never know. Oh, don't say it's not useful. You never know what could be useful.
Do you actually want that?
Are you about to buy this old man's like
What?
favorite
Shush.
trinket?
I want to know. No. I want to know what else there is.
Well, all right, so he continues to look through there, and one of the things he pulls out as well is a small sort of metallic cube, and as he turns it around, each side as you look through, it's sort of prismatic. Light kind of travels through it, but funny enough, as it looks on each side's a completely different color from itself. So it's a bit of a weird, trippy thing to hold on to. He says, "I have no idea what this is. Some warlock gave this to me."
Warlock.
Could I? What can I roll to see if I can maybe try and discern what it is a little more clearly than this guy could?
Yeah, same here.
I would say, if I take a quick look at a character sheet just for reference, because like, what the fuck did I do? It's fine. As I just quickly take a look at your sheet here. This is covering chat for a second while I do this, but it's fine.
At this point, I'm right next to you.
I would say you need to use a Arcana check.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a quick Arcana check.
You don't discern anything magical about this item. Neither of you do.
Okay. Is that all? Is it just
No,
these
he's
two
got a
items?
few more things in there.
Well, then show me.
He has a small he has a small box actually that he holds out. It's a little bit of a longer shaped box, some very nice woodcraft and stuff like that. It seems to be from somebody who is like woods craftsman was not their fine point. It's actually like very rugged and rough. But as he opens up the lid on the end of it, it actually has the insides of the inner workings of a he has the inner workings of a music box on the inside of it.
Music box. Ooh. Does this work?
Yes, of course, he says as he turns the crank very slightly and it starts playing a very... It's a very subtle song. You don't quite know why you remember it, but you feel like you've heard this song before.
I've heard this before.
Can I take a step forward and ask how much are you willing to part with it?
Part with what? What are you interested in?
The music box?
He sort of looks at the music box and he says, "Well, I had this since I was a child. I don't know if there's anything special about it. I don't quite know how it ended up here, actually." He sort of looks
Do
it
you know
over
what
and he
song it's
says,
playing?
"Oh, I could part for that for a couple gold pieces."
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
there you are, Applejack.
Hey, you're back. How was the war?
We're just
the
parting with
war.
an old man right now, going down memory lane or something.
Yeah. No, wait. No,
Making me
Gavin.
improv real hard here, guys.
Now, Gavin, who recognized the song, Annette or Osiris?
Annette does.
Okay.
I also do. reasons.
Actually, yeah, both of you recognize the song, but neither of you know what it's from. You just remember it from years
I do.
ago.
I know.
Oh, you know what song it is. Oh, interesting.
No,
So-
that's just with the character.
Oh,
I
okay.
recognize it. for a
Okay.
reason.
For 2 gold pieces, he says you can have it.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, and he hands off the thing to you. So you have now in your possession a tiny gnome-crafted music box that plays a song you dimly remember from your childhood.
From his childhood or from our childhood?
From his childhood. Technically, you're both childhood. You both remember the song, but it seems to be he has more significance to it.
How much weight should this be?
This should be 0.
Okay.
So, is there anything?
Well,
Do you want him to keep delving through this box for you?
Yes, actually. There's only a pipe and there was the pipe and there was something else.
There was a cube that was differently colored on every side.
The pipe and the prism cube.
Well, here's the other thing. He sort of pulls out a pair of old socks, and he goes, "How'd that get in there?" And just sort of tosses them aside.
Can I roll an Arcana on those socks?
Yes, you may roll an Arcana on those socks.
What?
Yes! Get a high roll, get a high roll. Yeah, that's 20!
On that, of all things.
And before there's nothing significant.
Fuck.
Hey, Gavin.
How important are those socks, Gavino?
As the old man tosses them aside, and then just dives for it and tries to catch.
Wait a minute.
As he tosses the socks aside, they land on the ground, and then there's a loud "foof" as a giant flash of fire goes off, and the socks are instantly incinerated by some force that you recognized innately hidden in the socks, but you literally have no understanding of what the fuck you just saw.
I take it like 2 steps back after seeing that.
I just reel back in surprise, like, oh! What kind of socks do you wear, sir?
He says, my clothes do that all the time.
Okay, well, what's the actual item then?
That actually was what I rolled.
You just rolled some socks, huh?
Yeah, well, it's a list of 1 in 100 items. So
Can I ask him what his profession was before this?
he says that, I used to be a mechanist.
Mechanist.
Oh.
Either way, he goes through and he pulls out
Not that I know this.
He has a
information.
vial he pulls out at this point. There's a glass vial in there. It's got some really, really dark, murky liquid inside of it. You can't discern it just
Can
by
I
looking at it.
discern?
Can I use perception?
I would say you can use just an intelligence check on this.
Okay, I'll roll an intelligence check too.
Wait, where's it?
You
Oh.
click intelligence.
Yeah, just click the word intelligence. Yeah. Well, Cyrus is able to
Oh!
recognize it for some strange reason.
I don't.
But Annette takes it in her hands. She's saying, like, I have no idea what this is.
It's
And
blood.
then Osiris
Okay.
takes it out, and he says, like, oh, this is dragon blood.
Dragon blood?
And he says, yes, that's usually quite the stuff. Don't drink it. It would be a very bad thing if you drank that.
And it.
Oh no. I'd actually like to take the dragon blood, sir.
Oh, dragon blood. Okay. That's a hard thing to come by. I would like for that little bit. How about 8 gold pieces?
How many gold pieces?
8.
8? Sir, I think you have a deal.
And he nods and he says, "Oh, finally someone bought that. Everyone never believed me it was dragon blood. They all said, sir, you'll never get that. I got it benched off of me by a charlatan. He said it would make me younger, and it did not."
Now, would I actually happen to know any natural druidic remedies that I could partake in this man to sort of recoup him for his lost youth?
No. Not even a natural 20 is going to make him younger.
I tried.
And,
Alright, Annette, you know
Wild
the others
dragon
are probably
blood.
waiting.
and then there's one last item in his box. And it
Yeah, but
is,
there's
as he
one
pulls it
box.
out, it is a lump of coal. At least it looks like a lump of coal. He sort of looks at it and goes
Yeah,
like,
just
oh, I
wondering.
remember
Oh
this.
no.
So if
Do
you
I
want
check
to, take a
something?
perception to see if it's anything more.
Bye.
Okay.
Alright.
Let me roll. Oh, well.
Good job, guys.
You both
It's a black thing.
basically you guys look at it and then you're like, oh, and then the two of you looking at it at the same time have the same response. It's a gemstone. It's actually, even though it's murky and black, it's actually a small chunk, rough cut of gemstone.
Can I
Is
discern
it
what
obsidian?
kind of gem? Can I discern what sort of gemstone it is, or is it too black? To
Well,
tell?
it looks like onyx, but it almost looks like obsidian too. The problem is that the cut is so rough and it's unpolished that it doesn't look like it's anything.
Would I be able to clean it if I bought it?
You would be able to refine it, yes.
And
Gavin, question real quick.
Yeah.
How much did I stay for this life again? It was 70, right?
You said you had 70 for the guy. You paid 30 up front.
Yeah, okay, just being sure because I wasn't sure if I said 65 or 70.
Do you guys yourself a favor and don't look up obsidian in Google search images?
Yes,
Okay.
do not.
Can I use anything to check what it is exactly, or is that all I could do? I could just tell it's some gem.
It is a gemstone. I mean, if you wanted to check it, you could ask me if you wanted to take what kind of check on it to further investigate it.
Although there is a very cool D20 design.
Actually, Gavin, I'd like to roll a nature check to see if I can figure out what it was. It is part of. If it's a gemstone, it might be. I could be able to determine what it is because nature.
I suppose
Go
I'll
ahead.
just use intelligence.
Sure, go ahead if you want to try and discern more from it. FLJ, why are you rolling perception?
Yeah, you're not there.
He's not there. So, Annette, you end up learning the fact that, yes, this is indeed a gemstone. It looks, you basically are 100% certain it's onyx, but as Osiris looks at it, he realizes that it's not just a normal gemstone. There's something you feel like weighted inside of this.
I think FLJ's mic is not working all that great.
I think I'll take
It's
this.
not
Nope, it's there.
fantastic.
How much for this?
Okay.
Well, it works.
How much for this gemstone, sir?
He sort of looks and scratches his beard, and he's like, "Oh, he already bought so much from me. Do you really need this?"
It might be. The only problem is that it's so rough and uncut. It's hard to make out what it really is.
Oh, I always tried burning that in the fire, and it never lit.
I'm sorry, sir. It's not coal. It's onyx.
Oh, is it now? Well, that would explain why the fire never did anything.
How much would you take for this?
Oh, well, it's coal that doesn't burn, so you can have it.
I can just have it?
I have no use for that.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. That's most generous of you.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming by.
Of course.
He sort of
So
tucks the
one-
box away back into the back of his store, and if that's all you guys are gonna have there, then you guys can be on your way.
Time to get back. Gavin's probably getting
So I
tired of
gotta-
it, probably.
So,
Myself a vi-
so that's
Now,
it for you guys.
I assume the vial of dragon blood and the onyx don't cost anything.
Well,
don't
No,
weigh
Dragon Blood
anything.
did.
Don't
the
weigh
dragon blood
anything.
did
Don't
cost
cost-
you. That was 8 gold, if I remember correctly.
I know that. I meant weigh, Gavin. I meant
Oh
weigh.
no, none of this weighs anything.
Okay.
Okay, good.
None of this that you bought weighs anything. In fact, all you did was pay gold for useless trinkets that you could have gotten if you had a certain background. But I will make it work. Trust me, I'm a smart guy. I'll make it work in some way.
Well, I have a vial of dragon blood. Can I tell if the dragon blood is actually usable?
All he did was tell you originally was that the dragon blood is not pleasant stuff.
And it.
Well, I know. Yeah.
May I hold on to the onyx? There's something off about it.
Sure. Here, I hand him the gemstone.
I'll hold on to it.
Thank
I knew you were gonna
Now,
take
can
that.
What's the dragon blood? I know the dragon blood's in a vial. If I uncork
You know me too well.
However, if I uncork the dragon blood, will I be able to discern, if it's, anything from it if I just take a quick whiff?
You want to take a sniff of that?
Why do I have to roll to prevent her from doing that?
Well, I
It's
don't.
dragon blood. It won't kill me if I just take a whiff.
Hey, so why are
I'm
you
not gonna
attacking?
drink
Okay, so FLJ is apparently.
Because I plan on dual wielding, you don't get your proficiency bonus. or
You're
anything.
programming that in. Okay.
So
Yeah.
FLJ's internet apparently died.
His internet's
Oh.
completely dead.
Apparently.
So now what? So I do it.
Well, if you want to try, you actually need to uncork it and stuff like that. It seems to be pretty sealed. It's pretty
Okay,
sealed
pretty-
shut, so you're gonna need to make a strength check to see if you can actually open the vial.
I'm not gonna open it if you fail.
That's
Before
fair.
25.
I'll make a strength check. 1 second. I have 0 strength, so this is gonna be great.
20.
Not bad.
11.
You are able to, like, just barely crack the seal of it, basically. You haven't really opened it, but it's enough that some of the air is getting let into it. At that point, make a Constitution save.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh dear.
So
Oh, boy.
even though you cracked it, like, ever so slightly, you get a whiff of that dragon blood that you don't know how many years old it is, but it is super unpleasant stuff. So unpleasant that you actually take 2 damage from it.
Ouch.
Oh.
Man, I should have just kept going with that prevention roll.
Well, there you go. That's some nasty stuff
Okay,
you bought there.
I instantly reseal it the second I take. This
Oh, you better reseal that.
I instantly reseal. I'm just
I
like,
thought that was just a tiny crack, not a waft of it.
Oh yeah.
by Melandra's lovely hair, that is strong stuff. Woo! Good work.
All right. Well, we as
By
we're
the All Mother, holy, woo!
at this point, you guys have
I'm
spent a
awake
good
now.
amount of time in the out in the market. Actually, I'd say a few hours have passed as you guys have been loosely going amongst all the stalls and taking care of your business.
Are
And
we gonna do anything about FLJ though?
yeah, I was about to say, like, as you guys are reconvening after that point, you're able to meet up, and from there you head back towards the inn. As there's not really, you need to keep staying there, or at least somewhere. Since you're part of the guild, you need to go back, and you head back there for what is roughly approaching like the early evening right now, which is where you guys will probably have your next meal for the day. Now that said, we're missing a party member now, so now I have to wonder if there's anything that can be done about FLJ right now. So
He's hungover. I don't know.
well, that's the thing. Is like I was saying, if he's out of
I
commission,
just
then
I just want to point out, Annette looks a little out of it now.
FLJ is not online.
She
So
took a
I think he might be resetting his stuff, but I don't see him like even on his mobile or anything. So,
all right, fair enough. Let me give him a quit hat and just stay.
I told him to reset his computer and his network, so that could possibly
Take him.
a bit.
It could take him a second to do that, but I mean, like, if he's not gonna be able to get it back, then
Yeah.
then we'll have to call it for the night, which is a shame, but for the most
Sure.
part that'll be the case. We could move
Here.
forward a little bit further.
Oh wait, he's back. I see him typing. Hold up.
Well,
Well, he's offline.
Hold
even
on
though
a
that's
minute,
the case, yeah.
So
You know what I mean.
yeah,
At least to let him know what's going on. That's a shame for everybody in the stream, for anybody that's still around here. Hey, people are actually here and watching.
Rip. He's on data.
okay.
Well, at this point, I'll let you guys. I'll just sort of let him know. I'll stall for a little bit to see if he can come back in, because there's something I can do in the meantime, actually, for you guys. So you guys,
we're back at the inn, right?
yeah, you're heading back to the inn, and it's sort of early evening at this point. At this point, you walk inside. There's quite a ruckus that's kind of going on inside the inn right now. There's quite a bit of like cheering and gallivanting around with some people getting wildly drunk and stuff like that. It's tame for the most part right now. It's quite packed inside the evening, actually, unlike what you'd seen before. You don't really know what's happened, but maybe some large parties returned victorious from whatever mission they were sent out to do. Naomi's still there trying to run around. She's actually out on the floor trying to hand out ales to people who are needing refreshers and stuff like that. It's kind of quickly, actually, the fact that they got another shipment that's already come in, even though you guys had only taken out a day before. You might assume that it may have come in from another city. But it seems to be people are eagerly drinking this stuff now that there's the supply will be returning soon. So you walk inside, and what's the first thing that you guys want to try and partake in?
I'm gonna sit down and sort of see if I can regain those two hit points that I just lost.
So you're gonna take a short rest while you're there.
I'm gonna take a little breather. Yeah.
All right. Well, you take it down in the corner of the
I'm gonna-
room, and you
I'm
sort of.
gonna go sit for a couple minutes. Oh my god.
So you sit down, you rest yourself in the corner of the room for right there. I mean, Zalis is obviously still there, but let's say that he sits down with you in the corner as well for right now. Hazel and Osiris, what are you guys for doing?
I don't suppose I can go back to a blacksmith and ask for Onyx piece, can I?
Not at this time of night, I think. It would be pushing it a little bit late. He might have closed up shop, you're not certain.
Alright.
I guess I will follow suit and I into the corner, but I'm going to kind of just pluck away at my loot.
So
I guess I'm going to, well, since, I don't know, just in case it's a box, you can do something better. Can I ask her to check up on the stone somehow? Anything?
Who are you asking to check up on the gemstone?
Hazel.
You could definitely share with her and see if Hazel can do a check on it. Is there a specific check you want to try and do on the stone, Hazel?
Let's see.
You said it was something strange pulsating off of it.
You will not pulsating. You could definitely feel something like inside of it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It feels like a weight to you almost, but you can't discern if it's magical or not.
I can either try investigation or I can try Arcana. Actually, we're not going to be doing anything today. I cast Detect Magic.
Wow. Okay. So as you use your traits of magical innateness that you have to use your detection of magic within this stone, you can now very certainly clarify that the presence of magic is definitely held within the center of this gemstone.
What type of magic? Because it should tell me what type of school. It should like glow in a certain way.
That is the problem, is because of the density of the stone, you actually can't fully make out what type it is. You just know there's magic in there. It seems that it's not very strong though, because of the fact it's so shielded by the gemstone.
Now, could that be because the gemstone is dirty?
It could be that if it were, it could be that, but I mean the gemstone itself is in such a dense state that the magic is not penetrating it very far.
How large would you say this gemstone is, anyways?
It's not very large, but you could definitely say it's quite heavy.
Okay. Is it like small enough to hold in like the palm of your hand, albeit like fully open palm?
If like a fully open palm, it definitely sits inside a fully open palm. If it were like a resting palm, it would probably like fit nestled.
Now you gotta be able to.
One second.
You said I would be able to clean it, Gal.
The stone can be cleaned, yeah.
And now, am I actually capable of cleaning it?
No. This will take a smith, a gemsmith at the very least, to be able to clean this stone.
I'm gonna run an investigation and try and pretty much figure out why I can't actually detect what type of school of magic it is. My deduction is that it's possibly some type of metal alloy that's around it, since the spell is supposed to be able to only gets blocked off by a certain amount of space between the magic itself. And the only thing I could think of would be 1 inch of common metal. So
I'll just roll an investigation.
Now?
Go ahead.
nope.
The only thing you can definitely discern from that's like covering the stone is like the murky stuff that's layering thick over top of it. In fact, it's what hides its identity as a gemstone, really, to begin with.
I was only able to find out because of a nature check.
The only thing you get that's off of it is that, like, much like a piece of coal wood, it leaves black soot on your fingers.
Could I roll an investigation to see if I can help my friends?
You can.
Okay, 1 second.
I like how you guys are like in the corner of this ruckusing room right now, just looking at this fucking like piece of coal.
They always looking over like, guys, what are you doing?
What a way to stall for time.
Time to roll an investigation check for you boys.
Hey.
Not much better, but
Well,
Yeah.
again, you're able to get the fact that, like, yes, this is a sooted stone and stuff like that. But then after staring at it for long enough, you realize that you might recognize the material that's actually like heavily coated this gemstone.
Do you not
Roll
discern its
roll a
onyx,
nature check to see if you know what the material is.
Let me see it.
Well, it doesn't take much actually for you to realize that it's an earthy material. It's definitely not coal at the very least, but at the very least, you definitely sense the fact that magic has a trouble getting through that black material that's coated the gemstone so heavily, and that's part of the reason why the magic within the stone is so heavily obscured.
Whatever's coating this thing, it's an earth-like substance. It's a magic-resistant substance, actually. It's suppressing the magic in a sense.
Oh my god, is anybody gonna read the description of detect magic? Holy shit!
Can I
already
do an
did.
Arcana just to see if I can discern anything about it? That specific kind of like weight to the magic.
It's a dense stone. Like it's quite
Okay.
like
Oh, is
it's
it?
incredibly hard.
That's what it is. It's lead.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say like
I
it's
missed
just a
that
very
afterwards.
very like thin bit of lead over top of the entire stone.
It's covered in lead?
It seems to me that something happened to this, and you don't quite know why, but this gemstone is like covered in a very, very dark and murky layer of lead. Either that or it's like heavily strewn throughout the black stone.
This would
that's
explain
coating
why
it.
it feels like charcoal, since you can use charcoal as lead.
Well, it's also been burned in a fire a number of times by accident, but at the very least, I
Would-
mean, like
would-
the
would
stone.
the-
I'm pretty sure that was
Would the-
purposely. He just thought it
Would
was
the
something
fi-
else.
Yeah, would the fire have caused it to? What? Can I roll? What can I roll to see if I can try and figure out what on earth would make lead coat this thing?
You can't really discern that, unfortunately. Like, it's just a matter that something happened. It could have been that this stone was dropped in molten lead for all you knew.
What on earth happened to this stone?
Oh,
Okay.
Who knows?
Roll
That
strength
came
to chuck out of the wall and see what breaks.
Oh God.
all right. Well, as I would like to point out, Hazel, have you been playing your lute this entire time?
Yes, I have.
Walking away.
So while you're playing your lute there, suddenly you hear this loud ruckus, and everybody in the room sort of quiets down. So you go, "Hey,
Huh?
you over there! You're a shitty board we had that other night."
Oh dear.
And suddenly, quite a number of displeased drunken men turn towards you.
Uh-oh.
Still play better than you do.
What do you say to me, cat?
Can I just like
I
play the music
said
box and
still better than you can play.
He's a playing nice.
I am playing nice.
The guy sort of slams his drink down on the table, and he looks at you kind of like squarely, and he's like, "Oh, slug you."
You don't have the balls.
Hazel!
He takes a swing at you, and just barely enough is able to crack you across the face with it, dealing a measly.
I thought
Feeling him-
it should only do his strength modifier as damage. For
Strength modifier?
unarmed.
Usually it's either like strength modifier or it's strength modifier plus a d4.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm rolling the d4. He does
Sure.
he cracks you across the face for 3 damage with a nicely closed fist.
Hazel kind of just takes it. Her face just kind of like glares back at him.
Hey Gavin,
Yeah.
because I don't want things to escalate further, can I actually roll intimidation to see if I can like spook these guys off with the wrath of God?
You can try.
Okay, let's see if I can pull this off. It's gonna be bad. Just remember, wait, shouldn't I roll with advantage because they're pissed drunk? Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Roll whatever the fuck you want.
There you go.
Okay, so this guy rolled a 1.
Oh, good.
So at that point, you stand up like an angrily glare at them, your angelic eyes flaring with the holy fury at them. You don't even say anything at them, but then the whole bar kind of just goes like, oh shit, and sort of backs away from you. And at that point, Naomi comes up and grabs the guy that punched Hazel across the collar and roughly throws him at the door. It's enough force that the door like cracks as he goes through the entranceway, and you hear him stumble outside, and you hear him go, "Ah, fuck you!" as he goes outside. And then at that point, everybody that's there is just going like, "Hey!" and they all go back to their normal business.
I instantly turn off my angel eyes and smile as Naomi, like, thank you.
And she just sort of says like, "I'm so dreadfully sorry about that. They usually don't get like this."
I'm just sitting there chuckling to myself.
It's
Oh,
quite
it's
all right. And
it's
I'm just
okay. Yeah.
going to go
Very-
back to playing my loot.
She sort of leans in and
Practicing.
she says like, "Your blue playing is actually quite lovely."
Thank you. I honestly don't have too much experience with the piano, and I honestly believe that it's slightly out of tune, yours.
Oh, is that the case? I'm sorry, that piano hasn't been played in years. I guess that was my fault.
It's quite all right.
Will you any
Like
of
I
you be
said.
having dinner?
I would love some, actually. I'm famished.
Would you like
Sure.
the fresh cut of the day, or would you like some soup?
What's the fresh cut of the day?
I'll take soup.
There's some steak that's coming.
Now, Gavin, as a druid, am I actually allowed to eat? Would
Yes, you're more than welcome to eat meat. You're not a vegetarian.
Okay. Well, I gotta make sure.
Vegetarian druid.
Hey, it could happen. Actually, no.
That would be up to you.
No, FLJ did say he's probably not going back.
Yeah, no, I've already read that.
Wouldn't
I'm
it
just sort of
make more
waiting for a good
sense
point
if I
to
was
stop.
like? Wouldn't it make more sense if I was like anti, like anti, anti?
Well,
like,
I mean, like you wouldn't have any
vegetarian?
processed foods, Kappa.
Okay, I would love some steak.
Steak for you, and
Delicious.
I'll take soup.
soup for you.
I'll pass.
You'll pass. Oh, certainly. You need to eat something, sir.
I suppose we'll take soup then.
And I'll bring some steak for your mute friend over there. I like to imagine that FLJ is sort of just there, but he's got like the mannequin face thing going on there, where like all his eyes and like lips and nose are missing.
He's T-posed.
He's
Kind of
T-posed.
nothing. Hold up. I'm sorry about him. He wanted to sniff some of my dragon blood and knocked him right out.
Well, at this
Which one
point,
you have to play
she
with that thing?
disappears
Why
for
would you-
right now, and she brings back your dinners relatively recently. And this time, good. This time when she brings out the food, this time it's a much more pleasant experience.
That said, kind of hard to ruin bread and milk.
Maybe that milk was just about to go bad.
Oh.
But yeah, you have a lovely dinner, all the four of you. And as the evening continues to go on, after the drunken holleries and or hootenannies have been going off, everybody sort of begins to file out. You don't really know where they're all going, but they probably they're not staying there at the very least. The guy that punched Hazel does not come back, thank goodness. But for the most part,
You better not. I scared the shit out of him with my angelic wrath.
But for the most part, actually, as the evening kind of rolls on, because you guys aren't really worried about doing anything, you have a nice, long, pleasant meal, and after the evening sort of hits well into the darkness period, like the sun is set after that period point, it's been about half an hour after that, you hear the soft sound of rain starting to fall outside, and basically everybody off the floor, there's maybe a couple people left in the bottom floors, is all that's left. And that, for right now, is where we will end our campaign, because for some reason, I wrote out this entire campaign tonight, and literally everything we did tonight was all improvised, and this is literally the point where I was actually going to start reading what I'd written down.
Oh,
Well, there you
really?
go.
Jesus Christ, this entire evening was an improv session for me.
Wait, can I
Oh,
just do
hey,
something
you got
fun?
experience for improv.
Yeah, we got some neat stuff. We have an onyx gemstone coated in lead of all
That
things.
we stared at intently for like 30 minutes.
We have some dragon's blood. Hallelujah!
I kind of want to use that for poisoning.
And
I almost knocked myself out because I was stupid enough to just take a whiff of the dragon blood. Yep.
I'm glad I was far away.
Hazel got cracked in the jaw. Like this thing, the only damage that happened was like a sissy's punch and like fucking sniffing something that was like neurotoxin.
No. Don't
As you can see, Hazel
forget.
does not take shit.
A second, don't forget, angelic fury of the god.
That was great. Actually,
You
all in
only
all,
got that
This
off
kid
right
is
before
first.
me.
it's a
Dead.
great
I was act-
social experience. I was really happy we had all of that because I couldn't plan enough of a social experience. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to wing most of this, and I was like, how much shit are you guys gonna make me do?
Shush.
No, I was ready to like pull out the Heart of Darkness bit, and then just Harley decided to jump in instead. I'm just like, okay, well, guess I'll use this another time and just look menacingly.
You know-
I'll let you use that because I mean, like, I tried using it in my campaign. My DM just wouldn't let me do it.
You don't mess with the friends of an angel.
I was really going to like do some kind of check to like try and throw that guy backwards back to where we sat.
If you, I mean, like, what I was looking forward to is getting a drunken
Actually,
brawl going, but
you
I
know
was
what?
like, FLJ already said he couldn't come back, and I was like, I'm glad you won that intimidation roll.
You know what? I kind of should have used vicious mockery on the guy.
You could have done it to him after he was outside the building, like, lean out the window and do it to him, like, just call him names. He's like, oh, the fuck is calling me that? I don't know why every time somebody gets drunk, they just become Irish, but that's probably just me.
So, like
It's
I
not like,
said,
that's
on the bright
racist, but
side,
it's
we
fine.
got some stuff. We have a mysterious gemstone. We have a mysterious onyx gemstone that's coated in effing lead. We have a vial of very strong dragon blood. God knows what we're going to use that for.
I already have an idea about it, but I don't know if you want to part with it.
I'm interested in knowing. Did you pull the lead just because you read the detect magic bit?
Yes. Do you know why I pulled it?
Because I used detect magic.
No, because I that was literally actually because I was reading through all of these trinkets and I saw that thing and I was like, actually, let's make the stone interesting. Like literally, when I rolled it to get the that item on that trinket list, I immediately went, oh, it's a black stone that's actually secretly a gemstone. Well, let's make it a magic gemstone, but they need to not be able to know what it is. All right, I'll make sure that the weird stuff that's coating it is lead. Like literally, I figured it out the moment I came up with that item. So like, I was really on top of that. But the thing is, like, the reason I did that. And that I went with that item in particular when I rolled it was because I knew that nobody could use detect magic on it, and then I could get away with not having to invent the fucking magic on the spot because I was like, are you seriously trying to make me do this? Out of all things, improv, like the whole like, oh, this is a magic stone. I don't know what it does.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Nice try, Gavin.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'm really good at most things, but it's like this entire evening was literally out of my ass. Which I'm glad hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
And
I enjoyed it.
as I say this before I end off the live stream for everybody right now, after everything you guys have done, spending all your great gold earned on like new weapons and armor, things like that, you'll probably highly regret that you guys never bought any healing potions. See you, everybody!